All right, so just gonna go over a list of techniques that I have for this assignment. These are the some of the techniques that I've learned in Excel for this class. And I'm just gonna be going over some of my favorites. So the choose formula, validation, nested if functions, and scenario manager, just because I think they're useful. So firstly, the nested if function is a little complicated, but I want to be able to explain it. So essentially here, we're going to be doing the cash balance and with another variable having investing and cumulative borrowing. And we're going to be filling out this row of current borrowing. There's already some over here, but I'm just going to show you the nested if function. Essentially, we want to know how much we're going to borrow or not borrow. And we're going to borrow if we don't have enough money to cover the minimum amount, and then we won't borrow if we have more essentially. Right. So what we're going to do is put an if function, and for the if function, it's going to be uh, if we have to borrow, yes or no, as a statement, and then here, if true, if false, how much. Um, all right, so if we do or not, we're just gonna do this to this, just because this will tell you if you need to borrow or not, if you have enough to cover the minimum. Value if true, and essentially here we could it would be simple to just do this minus this, and I'll tell you how much you need to borrow. However, we could also pull from investing, which is represented by a negative. So what we would have to do is we would have to do a maximum, no, another if function. This is where we need to do another if function. And basically the logic test is whether or not we can or cannot pull from investing, right? So if we can, this is going to be negative, right? So do this, right? Because this was negative, would be less than 0. So if we can pull, then we should. And but we can't pull. I haven't said this, but we can't pull too much out of this, so we want to make sure that it doesn't go above, or sorry, below 0, right? So we're actually going to put a max function here, so that way this number can be a positive number, so that we don't pull out too much, right? And so put 0 here, so that way it doesn't go below it. And we just do this plus this minus this. And this is just because um, this is represented by a negative, so this is technically this plus this minus this. But because represented by a negative, we put a plus here. But and then yeah, so that if that is true, then if it is not true, meaning if we can't pull from investing, then it's just simply this minus this, and that'll tell you how much we need. All right. Now we do if we don't need to if we don't need to borrow, then we're actually put another if function here, and this is because um let's see if I remember. Oh yeah, because in this borrowing section uh we're also gonna see if there's any cumulative borrowing, then we can pay that off and it'll be represented by a negative. So again, if so we're doing if there's borrowing or not. So if this is greater than 0, right? So that means that there's borrowing. Then we're gonna put a min function here just because we don't want to go overboard, right? Because we still need to be able to cover this, right? So we would do this minus this, right? So whatever is smaller. Also, we put a negative here because uh in the borrowing section when it's negative, that means we're paying this off. But yeah, so whatever smaller, 0 or the difference between this and this, just so that we don't go overboard. And then if not, then just 0, as we don't need to borrow anything. There we have it. That's how you do that. Next, we're going to the choose formula, which is, oh yeah, I'm gonna show an example here. Just gonna get rid of this, do it again. Basically, the choose formula lets you have a reference cell, and then if there's a change to this, right, if you change it to 1, I already have it for other things, but change to 1 or 2, you could choose whatever variable you want here, but if you change it, then it'll change the look of it just so it's useful to see different kinds of statements, financial statements. But for this one specifically, it is percentage of sales versus the percentage of beginning cash flow. So we'll do equals. Then for both, it's going to be percentage of. So do this and then put an and here. There's the and. Yeah. And then this is where we put the choose. Right. And so the index number, so we're just going to reference this. So if this changes, then that's where we know that's where we'll change it. And then the value is just what we want. So then we'll do percentage of sales or percentage of beginning cash, right? So cash, right? Finish that off. Yep. So now when you change it, you do beginning of cash or sales, right? Put that back. All right, now the scenario manager is kind of like the same. It's like a what if. Um, it's in the data. Sorry, let me move myself. It's in the data, and then it's essentially a what if analysis. So for this, it's this section. It's basically it lets you see like uh, if you pick a scenario and you choose like whether or not something would happen or not, and you'd see what changes it has to this over here, or for this it would be total disbursements, and then that would also change stuff over here. But for the example, I'm just gonna do what if here, and you essentially just go to what if scenario manager. Oh, let me delete these. And essentially, you want to create the scenarios. So I already highlighted the cells, and these are the cells. And then you make a name for all of them, just to be specific. And so it helps. Let me do June. Right, so we're gonna have the 200,000 move around to see what changes would be. So the June would be over here. So we're gonna do June first. Just gonna copy paste this so I can do this quickly. Right. And then we change the scenario. See, so this is if it was in July, that's just um the default, but we're gonna do for June because you see E is June. 200,000. So and so that's that example, and then we just add another one. Same thing, but in July. That's how we have it now, but just so we can Move back to it. Yep, add another August. This, whoops. And lastly, add one for in September. Sorry, I haven't showed my outfit, but oh yeah, I'm in business casual. And then show me this back. Right. And then essentially now you can just pick wherever you'd like to show the scenario. Click show, and now it'll see what changes. Yeah, and that's pretty much it.